China's rise as a global power is undeniable. Its economic expansion and military modernization have transformed the geopolitical landscape. This transformation, however, has also fueled anxiety among its neighbors. China's increasingly assertive actions, particularly in the Asia-Pacific region, have raised concerns about its long-term intentions. Countries in the region are seeking ways to safeguard their sovereignty and interests. This has led to discussions about a potential Asian NATO, a military alliance aimed at counterbalancing China's growing might. The idea of an Asian NATO, while still in its early stages, reflects the growing unease about China's trajectory. China's actions in the South China Sea, its stance towards Taiwan, and the ongoing threat from North Korea have created a complex security environment. These challenges demand a coordinated response from countries committed to a rules-based international order. The potential for an Asian NATO represents a significant shift in regional dynamics. It underscores the need for a new security architecture in the Asia-Pacific. The South China Sea is a critical waterway for global trade and energy transportation. It is also a flashpoint for territorial disputes, with China claiming sovereignty over most of the sea. This claim, demarcated by the controversial 9-dash line, overlaps with the claims of several other countries including Vietnam, the Philippines, Malaysia and Brunei. China's assertive actions in the region, including the construction of artificial islands and the deployment of military assets, have heightened tensions. These actions have been widely condemned as a violation of international law. They have also raised concerns about China's willingness to use coercion to advance its interests. The South China Sea dispute is not just about territorial claims. It is about freedom of navigation, respect for international law, and the balance of power in the region. The international community has a stake in ensuring that the South China Sea remains a zone of peace and stability. Peace. Taiwan, a self-governing democracy, stands as a stark contrast to mainland China's communist rule. China views Taiwan as a breakaway province and has vowed to reunify it with the mainland, by force if necessary. This stance has created a persistent source of tension in the region. China's military activities near Taiwan have increased in recent years, including air incursions and naval exercises. These actions are seen as a form of intimidation and a signal of China's resolve. The United States, while officially adhering to a one-China policy, has committed to providing Taiwan with the means to defend itself. This commitment underscores the strategic importance of Taiwan and the potential for conflict if China were to attempt a military takeover. The situation with Taiwan remains a powder keg in the Asia-Pacific, demanding careful diplomacy and a firm commitment to deterrence. North Korea, under its reclusive regime, poses a unique and unpredictable threat to regional security. Its pursuit of nuclear weapons and ballistic missiles has drawn international condemnation and sanctions. Despite these measures, North Korea has continued to develop its arsenal, conducting missile tests that demonstrate its growing capabilities. The threat posed by North Korea extends beyond the Korean peninsula. Its ballistic missiles have the potential to reach Japan, South Korea, and even parts of the United States. This threat has prompted increased security cooperation between the United States and its allies in the region. It has also fueled calls for a more robust regional security architecture, one that can effectively deter North Korea and address the proliferation of weapons of mass destruction. Section 5. The call for unity, a counterweight to China. The challenges posed by China, North Korea, and other security threats in the Asia-Pacific require a coordinated response. The United States, as a Pacific power with long-standing interests in the region, has a vital role to play in fostering stability and security. This includes strengthening alliances, building partnerships, and demonstrating a credible military presence. A united front among like-minded countries is essential to deterring aggression and maintaining a rules-based order. This unity requires a shared commitment to democratic values, freedom of navigation, and the peaceful resolution of disputes. It also requires a willingness to invest in diplomacy, economic cooperation, and people-to-people exchanges. By working together, countries in the region can create a more secure and prosperous future for all. Section 6. Seeds of Alliance, Existing Partnerships in the Indo-Pacific. The concept of an Asian NATO, while still largely theoretical, builds upon a foundation of existing security partnerships in the Indo-Pacific. The quadrilateral security dialogue known as the Quad, comprising the United States, Japan, Australia and India, is one such partnership. The Quad aims to promote a free and open Indo-Pacific region through cooperation on issues such as maritime security, infrastructure development and counter-terrorism. Another key partnership is AUKUS, a trilateral security pact between Australia, the United Kingdom and the United States. AUKUS focuses on enhancing military capabilities, including the sharing of nuclear submarine technology. These partnerships, while not formal military alliances like NATO, represent a growing convergence of strategic interests and a willingness to coordinate on security matters. They provide a framework for cooperation that could evolve into a more integrated security architecture in the future. Section 7. Envisioning an Asian NATO, structure and purpose. An Asian NATO, if it were to materialize, would likely resemble a collective security arrangement rather than a carbon copy of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. Its primary purpose would be to deter aggression and maintain stability in the Asia-Pacific region. The core members of such an alliance would likely include the United States, Japan, Australia, and potentially India. Other countries in the region, such as South Korea, the Philippines, and Vietnam, could potentially join or partner with the alliance. The structure of an Asian NATO would need to be flexible and adaptable to the unique challenges of the region. It would require a clear division of responsibilities, mechanisms for joint decision-making, and a commitment to interoperability among member states' armed forces. Through Beijing's eyes, China's response and concerns. China views the idea of an Asian NATO with deep suspicion, interpreting it as an attempt to contain its rise and undermine its regional influence. Beijing has condemned any such initiative as provocative and destabilizing. It has warned countries in the region against joining such an alliance, suggesting that it would damage relations with China and potentially lead to a regional arms race. China's response to the concept of an Asian NATO reflects its worldview, which emphasizes its own centrality in the regional order. Beijing sees itself as a rising power, with legitimate security interests and aspirations for leadership. It is wary of any external efforts to challenge its position or constrain its actions. The potential for an Asian NATO, therefore, represents a point of friction in US-China relations and a potential obstacle to regional stability. The Balancing Act, managing US-China relations. The evolving security landscape in the Asia-Pacific requires careful navigation and a delicate balancing act. The United States seeks to deter aggression and maintain stability in the region while avoiding a direct conflict with China. This requires a multifaceted approach that combines diplomacy, military deterrence, and economic engagement. The US must work with its allies and partners to present a united front, while also seeking areas of cooperation with China on issues of mutual interest, such as climate change and global health security. Managing this complex relationship will be one of the defining challenges of the 21st century. A new era of geopolitics, navigating the Asian chessboard. The Asia-Pacific region is at a critical juncture. The rise of China, the evolving security environment, and the shifting balance of power have created both opportunities and challenges. The concept of an Asian NATO is just one manifestation of this complex geopolitical chessboard. As countries in the region chart their course, they will need to carefully weigh their options and prioritize diplomacy, cooperation, and a commitment to a rules-based international order. The stakes are high, and the choices made in the coming years will have profound implications for the future of the Asia-Pacific and the world. The future of security towards a stable and prosperous Asia. The pursuit of security in the Asia-Pacific cannot be solely defined by military alliances or a focus on countering China. It requires a broader vision that encompasses economic prosperity, political stability, and respect for international law. Countries in the region must work together to address transnational challenges such as climate change, pandemics, and terrorism. They must also promote inclusive economic growth, strengthen democratic institutions, and uphold human rights. By embracing these principles, the Asia-Pacific can become a model for a more peaceful, prosperous and interconnected world. The path forward is not without its obstacles, but the potential rewards of a stable and prosperous Asia are well worth the effort.
So hit that subscribe button, ring the bell for notifications, and let's turn the page on a new adventure together. Get ready to experience books like never before, only on VBook 360. Like, comment, and share to support the channel and keep the video magic alive. Thank you for stopping by. And remember, every video has a story, and every story deserves to be shared. See you in the next video.